So I have to apologize because there's a little bit of mix up on my end. Charlie Callaghan. Yeah.
Hi.
Joining us here this morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys?
Well, we are looking at I guess now a season that all of a sudden got pretty tight, didn't it? All of a sudden you're in the mix of things, but I don't think you're really, honestly, Charlie, like this is one of the best. Well, certainly in the junior league, you can argue one of the best leagues in the world, providing more junior players to the NHL than almost anybody else. So are we really surprised? Is this?
No, I mean, when we got the 12-point lead a couple weeks ago, we knew we weren't going to have that the whole year. We never really had that tough little stretch that our teams had up until like the past couple weeks. So it was bound to get a little tighter, but I don't think we're that worried. I mean, if you look at all the games we lost, lots of times we outshot teams, and then also we're losing by like 1-goal games. So it's not too big of an issue. Always an issue losing, but looking at the standings, we're still ahead of North Bay for our division. I think us and Hamilton are tied right now, but we always expected a tight race. So,
and you know what? I don't mind also too that you get a little adversity because the playoffs probably not that far away. But I always find in almost any sports or teams that you play on where all of a sudden there's a separation where you haven't played a meaningful game in a while. Like I always say, you haven't had to work for a living in quite a while. And sometimes those that kind of just jump in late to the playoffs, they seem to have a little advantage, don't you think?
Yeah, I think for us, when we were winning games, we just kind of win the games like we can't lose. We're not going to lose. And I don't think we had that adversity where we felt like our backs were against the wall. And I think we need a little adversity going into playoffs. Like it's much better. That little stretch happened the past couple weeks, other than in March. But a little adversity never hurt you, and it's probably gonna make us stronger in playoffs because playoff games are gonna be tougher, stronger, more physical. So just a good little organization of how we have to play.
Now, Callaghan is a beautiful Irish name. We all know that. It's beautiful, beautiful. So does that mean if you get into a fight and you're on the ice like that, you start talking like this? Listen to me, you bastard. You talk like that. Tell me you talk like that on the ice.
I'm gonna have to start talking like that.
Now, do you know, has your family got a background? Do you have that in your family, or where are we going? Where's the family from?
It's pretty much your basic Irish story.
Yeah.
Just Irish Canadian. That's pretty much all we got.
Now, so where do you like? You grew up where? You're a Toronto boy, right?
Yeah, I'm on North Toronto, so Young and Lawrence.
Yep.
Yeah, so I grew up there.
Well, your coach thinks a lot of you. I know that, and it's when we do this on a weekly basis, invariably it comes up how close you guys are, how tight you guys are. Like almost weirdly, if there was no team, you guys would still hang out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like growing up, like playing here in Mississauga since I was 16, every team here has been really close. Like our personality hasn't changed much. We kind of have the same core group. Like if you look at me, Proots, Hards, Ranger, then even like Bell Bell, Sharpie, Max, like all those 02s, 03s, we've kind of been around for a while here. I think that just bring in all the older guys with Brand, Pruder, and then you have all the younger guys. We've all played together for a while now, and we all skate with each other in the summer. Like we've all known each other for a bit now. Like when we spend every day with each other at the rink, you gotta be close. Like there's gonna be little fights and little pissy fits from everyone, but at the end of the day, like we're hanging out every day after practice. We're going to get food. We're going to the mall, going to the movie, all that. We're really close in the team.
So how does that work? Because I've heard this more than once, where you go to a movie. Do you look like a gang? Like what happens? Like what?
Yeah, it's like pretty much walking the square in theaters with 25 guys, making noise, hold everyone up in the snack line, and then dexterously walk to your seats.
And you got some big. I mean, you better hope that people get in there and sit in front of your defense. I mean, you're part of the D, but my God, these guys are 9 feet tall. I mean, they would ruin a movie if you got in there behind them.
Yeah, I would not want to sit beside Casper Larson or even Adam Brand, even OJ and Sharpie. I wouldn't want to sit behind in the movie.
And so who chooses the movie when you got 25 guys? Because people can't agree on anything, apparently. Just look out the window at the world. No one agrees on anything. But so how do you choose to go into a movie? How's that work?
at the start of the year, it was Mike Stubbs. He would kind of throw a recommendation. Then the first couple of movies we saw weren't liked by everyone, so we kind of got kicked from that. So now we usually write movie name on the board, and then we argue about which one we're going to see.
You may be spending more time on that than the power play.
Oh yeah, we get really invested on stuff like that.
Right. In conversation with Charlie Callaghan here on Newstalk Sauga 960 Raw, Mike Richards. Well, we sure love watching you guys play now that we're allowed to get in there. And of course, it's changed even since then, as we're seeing the capacity now. It's going to be, pretty soon. You want to see the Steelheads, you pay your money, you sit in the building, which I think has got to be nice for you guys, because playing in empty arenas, not that, as you said, you play together in the summer, it's always an empty barn, like, when you do skating, always empty in the summer. But when it comes to this time of year, you want to see people in that building.
Yeah, when there's no fans, it's a very weird vibe. Like, you can literally hear everything going on in the rink, every little conversation. And when you score a goal, it'd be like, well, you don't really know what to do, like how to celebrate. Like, there's no energy from the crowd or anything. It's just you and the four other guys you're on the ice with. But yeah, like, it's awesome playing in front of fans.
See, I would have a difficulty with that, because there was a certain, how would I put it, sense of language that I use competitively, and it's not for everyone. So you'd have to think, once this is the OHL. I mean, guys aren't saying, "Oh, sorry, Jimmy, I'll give you a hand," or "Oh, sorry, I bumped into you." That's what do you do? Because the whole building could hear it.
Even when there's like 500 people in the crowd, there's times where the benches would be going at it between like a TV timeout, and the arena would be dead quiet, and all you hear is a guy yelling from some on the other bench, and just like everyone in the rink could hear that. Like, you could hear that so clearly if you're at the top row or in the box, straight from ice level.
Oh, there's going to be some moms aren't going to be mad. Excuse me, can I talk to you, Mr. Salty, for a second? That was nice for the family. That was nice in front of Nana. What did you call him again? What was that? But I find hockey to be that way. You know how they police a lot of things, but in the heat of the moment, like, I don't know, I wouldn't be holding back. Do you hold back at all on that kind of stuff?
No, I don't think in the heat of the moment you realize. I think you always just imagine that no one can hear you, and just you and another player talking back and forth. And so I don't think anyone on our team's thought about that. I was just hearing that, because it doesn't sound like it. But no, I don't think I'd pick up on that.
Well, it's again, the heat of the battle, and when you see the fact that you guys have had to basically play within the whole season, seeing the same teams over and over again. We've talked about it, where it kind of feels like a little bit like playoffs already. You're in tight, and tied with Hamilton, and obviously Kingston has improved so much and have obviously a star player. But when I talk about the teams that you have an edge against, almost everyone says Peterborough. I don't know what it is about the Petes, but those games always end up being some kind of damn circus. I don't know what it is about Peterborough, but they seem to get on everyone's nerves.
Yeah. For me, the team, Peterborough's definitely up there in teams that are edge against, and the when the physicality ramps up. I think in the past we've had a lot of fights. I remember my second year, we were in Peterborough, and there's like a full-on line brawl. Like, I think everyone on the ice got kicked out of the game. But another team where physicality ramps up against is Kingston. Like, our last time we played them, we had 3 fights, like a lot of big hits, a lot of scrums, like everything. But you play a team 8 times, someone's gonna get on your nerves, and you're gonna want to beat someone up. And Peterborough and Kingston seem to be those teams for us.
Yeah, I think. Now, does your coach? Is there a side that we don't know of JR? Does he sit there and go, "Okay, tonight, guys, it's get the tinfoil out. Let them know who you are. Let's go. Let's really." Look. The one thing I know about your head coach is, there's an expectation that you will win every night. Like, it's not to go out and compete; it's to go out and win the game. And I think he also does something which I'm a huge fan of, which is to make the tasks, whatever you have to do, relatively simple. Like, what your job is. He doesn't complicate things. He just needs you to do that one thing well.
Yeah, it's very black and white with JR. He's gonna tell you to do something, you do it. You're gonna play a lot. You don't, you won't. But yeah, the way we play, we're just gonna play hard and we're gonna play fast, and those are the 2 things that he preaches the most. And going back to getting the edge on people and kind of making people making physical games. Like the reason that happens is because how hard we play and how the style play Jerry wants us to play. So with him, you just gotta do your job. You just gotta go out every shift, do what you're told, focus on your D zone. Once you focus on your D zone, that means you're gonna get more touches with the puck, and your O zone time will come. So just the little things with him that he wants you to do, and that will help you succeed.
Well, it's certainly the right message, and you've got off to obviously a great start. No one walks through this league; it's just too hard to do it. And as I said beforehand, I don't think it's a great thing to have that separation, because sometimes when you really got to dial it up, sometimes it feels like, well, when's the last time we did this? Now, in terms of that, is this the most physical team? This is one of the biggest teams I've ever seen. I mean, in terms of that D, I mean, they're huge. Is this one of the more physical teams that you played on?
I would say so for sure. I would say this year is probably definitely our most physical team. I mean, if you look at our decor, obviously everyone's 6 foot except me, but we got a lot of guys who are willing to hit and run around a bit to kind of change the momentum of the game. You look at Delhi, he runs guys like no tomorrow. Max Dodig will light someone up. I mean, Brand will light someone up if he has to. Callum Chisholm will. Pruder will run around. Beck will run around. Like a bunch of these guys will run around, and this is definitely one of the toughest teams I've played on. I think we lead the league in fights with like 20 or something like that. But we definitely want to give our teams a message that every time you touch the puck, every inch you take, every stride you take, it's gonna be earned. And we may not run you every time, but you're gonna be bumped, and you're gonna know that every time you touch that puck, someone's right on your shoulder.
Yeah, it's intimidating. And is there anyone on the team sort of, if you were to skate pregame and skate on the other side and say, look, guys, if I were you, do you see that guy? I don't fight with him because it's not going to be good. Who would that player be on? Who's the guy that you on your team that teams really shouldn't mess with?
Oh, I don't know, because I lead our team in fights, so I want to say me, but I don't know.
That's awesome. Or you point, how good is this? Or you see this face right here, this Irish face? You don't want to see it on the ice there, fellas. You don't.
I would probably go with, I mean, Evan Brand's 6'6", so his reach in a fight would be kind of hard to beat. I wouldn't want to take around Ethan Del Mastro because he would probably stand you up. He's 6'4" and like 215. So,
who's the strongest guy on the team? Who's the strongest guy on the team? If you had to go in the gym, who's the guy that would bench more? Who's the guy that just is a bit of a machine?
I think Callum Chisholm.
Yeah,
he is like a freak of nature. That guy. Like he's got muscles of muscles of muscles.
See, you've talked more honestly. We find out more today from you in 20 minutes than I think we have in a whole year. See, you're the guy I'm going to now, because you're just saying stuff, which is awesome, which is great. Now, what about the goalies? Which of the goalies have an edge, or do they both have an edge?
I think Bass has more of an edge than Joe. Bass has like a little bit more, like he can like snap a little bit in their own bit. But Joe's pretty level-headed, but they both snap. I mean, they're both goalies.
Yeah, I was a goalie. Not normal, like just not right in the head. That's okay though. That's okay.
They're both relatively calm. Like they don't really after they give a goal, they're pretty level-headed. Both of them don't really snap that much. Like our whole team is pretty level-headed. No one really gets mad at each other. It's more of teaching lessons on the bench from like player to player. But
no, I heard
I haven't seen him snap yet.
I heard Crackers is very emotional. I heard sometimes he cries in the dressing room. Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's sad. It's really sad. Charlie, what a great time here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We got to have you on again. And boy, if you could just start dropping some Irish stuff in a fight, like I'll be right there with the Irish flag, like banging on the glass. You watch.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
All right. You take care, Charlie. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That is Charlie Callaghan. What a great job he did this morning. That was outstanding.